only win 7.
All right, welcome to a Sunday night edition of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. I really do hope that you guys are able to watch us on YouTube because as far as I can tell, we're not on YouTube tonight. Guys, check anybody who can check their phone, see if you can find us on YouTube. Okay.
I'm looking.
Alrighty. Okay, guys, we're 5 away from 800 subscribers. We just need 5 more before kickoff. Okay? First game kickoff, I need 5 more. Let's get 5 more. Oh, shoot. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get it.
Yeah, it says it's on. Don't load that other one. It says it's going right now, so.
Yeah, let's keep all these problems secret. Proceed.
Alrighty. By the way, you guys, we got Brandon tonight as a special guest from the Hawkaholics. They do their show on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central.
Yes, sir.
Okay. By the way, I went to go on your X account tonight to go live, and it won't let me. Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this isn't Andrew's problem.
Another secret. Another secret.
I get where Kelvin's coming from.
We ain't got enough anti-ballistic missiles in Iran either, but that's a secret. Let's keep that. The Patriot missiles have run out. We didn't know it was going to last more than a week. So,
alrighty,
proceed.
All right, guys. I've been really feeling down lately, and I need a quick pick me up, and so maybe you guys need this pick me up too. Yeah. Alrighty. Don't forget to go to cocainecoffee.com and put the code in Villains15 for your 15% off. Guys, I can tell you we're struggling tonight. We've only got 1 viewer. We're already struggling.
Don't let them know.
Yeah.
Boy, Dean's on a downer tonight. We'll probably have 1,000 views.
Okay, so here's what oh shoot. Everybody hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please ask questions and comment, and hit the like button because the like button out of that whole thing is probably one of the most important things.
And share it.
Yes.
And didn't I say that already?
No. You said the like button 2 different times, but I was waiting for the share. I try to get my friends to share it. So,
all righty. I had one more announcement to make, and I can't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah.
An old man's thing. All righty. Guys, you guys will recognize Brandon. He's from the Alcoholics, and he's here because he actually went to the practice yesterday. I hope he got to pay attention. I know he had his son with him, and his son probably kept him busy.
He always does.
I'm as you saw, Reimers,
Yep. I
as
did.
you saw, I am, but this is totally different. I am like exhausted. My calves hurt really bad. Like I can
Sure.
barely move up and down the steps. But good news is I got to watch 10 more minutes than I did spring practice, and
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't said this in a very long time. I understand it's practice, and I would like to say, holy shit, I think we have an offense. Excuse my language, but I think we have an
No,
offense.
you're not wrong. I think so too.
No?
Okay.
Good.
What
think
did
we
you
have
see
an
out there?
offense.
Because okay, but I mean, when you saw what you think of the offense, was the defense not playing as sharp? Was the defense just holding back, or were they just going plain vanilla and maybe Lesser asked them to let the offense shine a little bit?
If I had, I think a little bit of both. If I had to bet money on it, I think Phil kind of let them back a little bit, but not 100%. I'd say 80% maybe. I'm not worried about the defense. I am a little bit worried about the line, but it'll get solved.
Yeah,
Special teams is the only worry I have.
yeah.
That's it.
What would the
That's it.
punting look like? What did the punting look like?
Not as good. I am, to be honest with you, dude, I'm more worried about kicking than I am punting.
Okay.
Because
I did see that one field goal kicker missed 4.
Yep.
But he
Yep.
made a whole bunch more. And another
Yep.
one, I can't remember what he did.
They both made about 66%. If
Yeah.
you look
Oh,
at one was
66% is not
set,
good.
one was 7 out of 11, but it's like the Burr kid who didn't miss to begin with. He missed 2 in a row because of a bad snap. So
Mm.
a lot of people sitting in the stands or they don't pay attention to, well, was that a bad snap or not? You know, they just see the ball flying towards the uprights and say, ah, shit, he missed. He's no good. You know,
Who's the long snapper on this, dude? Do you guys know?
on them 2 bad ones in a row, it was McLaughlin, the true freshman from St. Louis.
Yes.
Number 54 is his number now.
Okay.
Can I make a nice little comment? I want you guys to do me a massive favor and remember this number, 14, because you're going to be hearing it a lot.
You talking about Tony Diaz or?
Yes,
or
sir.
okay.
Boogeyman.
Yeah. I think the freshman Hill is 14 on defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This guy cannot drop the ball. He caught everything. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he caught everything I saw. So
I know number 8 sure the hell Evan James didn't drop nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the one that had he had the big day, you know, but
yeah. If anybody dropped the ball, it's because of a bad pass. Let's just say that. I'm really looking forward to our offense. I cannot wait.
We're all on the Bud Meyer for President fan club.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
all in.
From wide receivers yesterday. Vandersea, 3 receptions for 57 yards for an average of 19 yards. 1 TD, 4 targets. Diaz, 3 for 28 yards, 9.3 yards, and 6 targets. So it would seem to me that, I mean, based on what I see here, we can't afford to get Vandersea hurt this year.
No. But
don't want anybody hurt.
Another thing too, I think Phillips is going to jump Moulton, and that really hurts because seeing Moulton each year, he's made significant steps forward, and I think Phillips is going to beat him for the top running back spot.
Phillips is
according to this,
Phillips is an NFL running back.
Yeah, he's really good.
According to this, he averaged 7.1 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Moulton only 4.8 yards a carry, but Moulton averaged over 5 last year, didn't he?
Yep.
We aren't saying Moulton's no good. We're just
No,
saying
right.
we just
Phillips
Yeah.
is like a lot of the young people don't want to even tackle him when he gets in the secondary.
no. She's.
But you want to know who had the
brutal.
biggest yards per carry yesterday?
Reverend Dahl, 9 yards carry.
Yep. But he
Two
only had 2
carries.
carries
Two
for
carries.
18 yards.
And the thing some people don't know is Xavier Williams and Phillips have been injured and just got back to practice. So Phillips got hurt this summer or something during workout.
Yeah, they kept him out. Yeah. For a little bit. But he's
Okay, let's talk about the obvious. People are getting excited. I even listened to the Dockerman podcast this morning, and Dockerman's already declared Helinski
Yep.
the starter and saying that the race is over. Honestly, guys, what do you see?
Same thing. That was insane, Dean. I don't think I don't like doing this. I don't like declaring people the spot, but holy crap, dude. From what I saw yesterday, wow. Footwork, pocket presence, passing, running. Heck. I think I was talking to some friends of mine about Brown, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm wondering if he gets a little antsy in front of actual crowds, because they've said he's had good practices before, but he came out in Indiana and that screen pass was just abysmal, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And then just for whatever reason, he was just not that great. And most of the drop passes, the very few drop passes that the receivers had was when Brown was throwing the ball, and they weren't good passes.
You know, he looked like Petrus throwing the ball, but
Yeah.
I know what's his name? What's your hero's name? Chad Lystico.
Yeah.
He said that the first 4 or 5 days of practice this fall, Hecklinski was just awful in practice.
Yep. I heard that too.
And then he took off here the last few practices. So going into this game, it was like, very even. But after yesterday, I don't think it's even anymore.
Yeah. According to the source that Lysicle got that bit of information from, he also said this was Brown's worst practice so far.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
And, of course, Kirk is not saying anything other than it's going back and forth,
As he should.
But I just think it's crazy to, 9 days into practice, already declaring, Helinski a starter. Of course, the coaches aren't going to do that yet. But, the fans and the media are just going nuts. And I just think it's too early. It's just one practice, guys, and they got 10 more to go.
That was just hyperbolic Docterman. Saying that the race is over. Well, the race ain't over.
No.
But we got a really good hint, Kirk has to keep the whole quarterback room and Lester and the quarterback coach. You got to keep them all upbeat, and keep practicing, because it's bad to say, but Hecklinski could walk across the street tomorrow and get hit by a car.
That's true.
You don't say, "Oh, the race is over, boys."
Right.
You guys might as well pack it in, So
I've got a question here for you guys. Okay. What if Helinski is declared the starter, and based on what we saw yesterday, that's a strong possibility. But what if Hank Brown doesn't even make number 2, that Jimmy Sullivan passes him? Because they did say yesterday that Sullivan's been having a good camp.
He looked good too.
He looked good.
He did.
Yeah, he's 10 of 15 for 66.7%, 129 yards, 2 DDs, and no interception. By the way, none of our quarterbacks had interceptions. That also scares me on the defense, that none of the defense stepped up and picked off a pass.
Pretty obvious. I watched there was somebody at the game, I'd like to know who it was, that had high quality video of every quarterback every play. And I'd like to know who that was because it was a big improvement on what these media put that up.
Where did you see this?
I shared it with Dean. I shared it with Dean.
Oh, it was very good. It was very excellent.
Much bigger.
Somebody had a good camera. Somebody had a good camera and knew where to zoom in at. It was a very good photographer.
I could actually grade out some of the linemen, using that. But anyway, the Dean's got it. Anyway, what was I going to say? What the hell was I going to say? I don't know.
Who knows?
Skip ahead, kids. People kept asking questions, and then my chemo brain left me. So.
Okay. I'm more interested right now. I know everybody's excited what the offense look like, and I'm on record already saying that we'll go 30, 31 or more points a game this year for my bold prediction. But so the offense is everybody's getting excited about, and what about the defense? I mean, the defensive line.
That's what I was going to say on these big videos. The defense, I think it was a kind of a setup deal. The defense was not flying around. It was like the defense, are you going to go full speed or not?
Yeah,
no.
They weren't. Yeah.
And they blitzed some. They blitzed Hecklinski twice, and one time he just spiked it in the ground. He did a good job. He threw it away 2 or 3 times when he should have. But other than that, it wasn't like other spring practices where the running backs averaged 2.9 yards a carry, and we didn't have any quarterbacks that could get over 100 yards passing. I think it looked like an old Hayden Fry trick to me, but. Anyway, as far as the defense.
Yeah.
So basically an offensive showcase.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like it.
Very vanilla on defense.
So then, but our defense is always ready to go.
Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be
game
fine.
day, yeah. So I'm not worried about the defense.
And Northern Illinois is the perfect opponent to kind of wake them up. And get them going, I think.
But we all know about when Ferentz makes that starter. He tells you 2 weeks in advance and almost or the same week or right at the week of. So
pretty much.
It's you got OKF and what he does, and that's pretty much what he does almost every preseason. When we get done with Kids Day, he kind of picks a quarterback. About 2 weeks after that, or the week of game day.
It depends on the year. Last year,
that's true too,
they asked about the first week of practice. He says Gronowski's rustier than heck, but he's our quarterback. The years before it was Cade McNamara is our quarterback.
Yeah.
It depends on the year. There was 3 years in a row where Nate Stanley is our quarterback. He wasn't talking about it's a competition.
Yeah,
It depends on the year. He named Beathard the quarterback right after the bowl game, even though we had Rudock on the team. So it depends on the year.
I was like, man, this Rudock kid was garbage. And then all of a sudden, here comes CJ Beathard out of nowhere. I'm going, okay, this guy's really good.
But anyway,
I think Dean hit muted.
Yeah, we can't hear Dean. But,
can't hear Dean.
Any other position groups you notice, Brandon?
It was just an offensive showcase, man. That's really all it was. I think, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think the defense will come alive come season, but I just think Phil kind of toned it down a little bit just to kind of build confidence in the offense. Good?
Yeah.
But do you think that – I don't think the defense wanted to show, like, a lot of people what they're made of and kind of keep it PG-ish until we get closer, and then – that's what I'm thinking too. I think it's all kind of hush-hush, and we'll name the positions when it when it gets time, basically.
All right, I got a couple things to say now that I'm back on live.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yay!
I accidentally
happens.
muted my mic, but
It happens.
okay. All righty. First of all, Cyhawk C Money is calling Kelvin Encyclopedia Kelvin and me Mean Dean.
Sure.
All righty. Boy's back. Boy's back. He
See?
says
There's your
Soli
YouTube.
2 looking better than Brown did. I would guess yes, boy, that is true. That's what we already discussed. And Cyhawk says, where was Epinesa? Did he play?
I didn't see him.
He's playing. Epinesa played about the whole game. He had a big problem. He's lining up against the first round draft pick at left tackle named Lauk.
Yep.
You know, Lauk tends to make All-Americans disappear as far as a pass rush.
Epinesa will be fine though if he's like anything like his brother. Supposed to be better.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Even his brother said he's better.
But then they use Epinesa a lot, like on third down. Like he was part of like a third down packages, wasn't he?
He was an every down guy. You know, he's a starter. So
Diaz.
Okay, Cyhawk C Money says Diaz was hidden from the scouts with the question mark. I got a question. If this guy's that talented and if people are excited about him who've seen him, how did he end up at a small school whose football team didn't even play a game the first year? All they did was scrimmage against each other.
Things like that happen, man. You'd be surprised.
same reason nobody wanted Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen out of high school.
Yep.
Josh Allen had to walk on. So.
Where did he go to college, Josh Allen? I forget.
Wyoming. He played against Iowa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, now look at it. He's tearing up the NFL.
When Allen came against
he started out at some
us.
California junior college. Just like Aaron Rodgers did.
Yeah, when Allen came to play against us, he scorched our defense.
Yeah.
He put up some numbers against our defense. And he
Do you remember the score of that game?
I don't remember the score of that game.
We kicked their butt, but
I don't.
Allen
I remember
did a few things right.
I just remember Josh Allen looked like he was very talented, but he had no wide receivers.
Exactly. He had to do everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree on that one, Calvin, for sure.
Yeah. All righty. Brandon, how much time can you give us?
About 5-10 more minutes.
Okay. All righty.
What you got?
Take her away, Brandon.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you what you saw in the tight ends, what you see in our wide receivers besides Diaz, and
I'm going to talk to them as a collective. They're all good. We are tight end. We are tight end university. You don't understand. I think we're going to see a lot of passing this year. I really do.
That's what somebody said that they said that we're going to see the ball in the air more this year.
Oh yeah, get ready for some bombs, like some nasty tosses and like 50, 60-yard passes. Get ready because we got some guys who can catch the ball.
Yeah. Kelvin, I got a question for you first before he finishes.
What?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but this question just came up. Are you biased toward Josh Allen?
Shouldn't be.
The Bills are my second favorite team, and
so you're biased.
I think I'm a Chief fan.
I was going to say, how does that work?
I'm a Chief. Well, I could tell you, but it'd take up more of your time. He's only got 5 more minutes.
I know.
I don't want to talk over him while he's here, but the first game I ever seen on TV when I was 4 years old was the first Super Bowl. I've seen every Super Bowl, and I picked the Chiefs because I like their helmets better than the Packers. That's the way a little kid thinks. And then O.J. Simpson my Chiefs started getting bad. And then O.J. Simpson came along, and I thought, that's the greatest running back I ever seen in my life. So I became a Bills, kind of rooted for the Bills after that. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL. Your turn to talk, Brandon. So,
Not what about Mahomes?
great quarterback.
Yeah, he's a great
He's
quarterback.
You don't think he's better?
got to be healthy and have an offensive line, So.
That's true.
I
100%.
do think they're gonna win the West this year. I think, but I do think
I
the
hope so.
Broncos.
You
I
think
do
so?
think the Broncos go to the AFC Championship though.
Yeah, Broncos look good.
Broncos got such a great defense.
Mhm.
As long as Bo Nix don't poop his pants, they ought to be really good.
Right.
Yeah,
You're all forgetting about the 49ers who are going to go all the way this year.
They're not they're not in the
Hey.
AFC West.
What
No.
about the electrical thing? That conspiracy theory that they
Oh,
got?
that's
That
so
electrical
stupid.
box. I know.
That's so stupid, but there's got to be a reason why the 49ers are getting injured left and right all the time.
Yeah,
But
Kittle,
it usually happens in a game, not at practice.
Right.
Well,
They said
it was-
Kittle's he might not make the trip over to overseas for their first NFL game.
He says he's going to go to Australia. He said
He's
today.
going to try, yeah.
Yeah. But
Who?
the problem with the 49ers is they don't keep their team young. They got like a 40. Their best offensive lineman was it Trent Williams or whatever his name is. He must be 38 years old. Great offensive lineman, and Kittle's getting long in the tooth. Everybody's getting long in the tooth. McCaffrey's running backs. Most NFL teams don't want a running back that's in his 8th year or 9th or 10th, but
all right, just talking about the tight ends. How does Addison Estringa look like he's back from injury, that he's going to be able to play normal?
I don't know. Coming off a ACL injury, that's just tough to do. Just on anybody, regardless.
Yeah, it's his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the same injury that Kittle had.
Yep. That's what I say. It's just tough. It's just tough to come back from that.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know. I didn't pay a lot of attention to him in the spring game, except he was wide open and Hank Brown threw a pass that looked like it was from Petrus and was very inaccurate and over.
Brandon, what did you see when he was out there on the field? Did you see anything like limping or pulling up or?
No, I think Brandon left.
He left right in the middle of the question. Okay.
When you got to go, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he had it set on timer. Okay. Well, anyway, DJ Vanami was actually our best tight end yesterday. Estringa he had 2 targets but didn't get any catches. I don't know if those were bad throws or if they didn't get them to him or what.
I know that one was a terrible throw, but
yeah. Okay.
Mason Woods didn't play.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
life.
Skyhawk says, as long as we're talking about Addison Estringa, he goes, I stand and fight for Addison Estringa. Don't call it a comeback. Okay.
I think Addison is fine.
Yeah, I think it'd be all right.
Yeah. And Skyhawk also wants to know who's going to be our most explosive player this year.
I'll give you one guess, and I'll give you 2 guesses. First one doesn't count. Because if everybody's talking about Diaz, Diaz has got to be the number 1 guy. Or we can go LJ Parker or LJ Phillips, So, you got all kinds of guys that can step up. But if you guys were saying that,
could be a number of people.
Right. What I think about Moulton kind of runs like Sean Green. He's got that. He's just so powerful back, and he gets the chunks of yards. 4 here, 5 here, and then you got what is it, Phillips, right? Does that sound right? And everybody's talking how fast he is. So he kind of runs like what? A little bit of Tim Dwight, a little bit of Cedric Shaw, a little bit of Freddie Russell, speed-wise. we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see. But I like Bolton. I think he's just a powerful back, and
Okay.
Huh.
that's just what I think. But
We got two big running backs, Phillips and Xavier Williams. They're like they'll pound the heck out of you, and then we got Moulton, who's a versatile back, and then we got McNeil, who is he's the speedster
he's the fast kid. Yeah,
of the bunch. He's got Cedric Shaw's number now, number 5.
yeah.
It'll all mix out.
Yep.
I just hope 2 weeks into the season we don't have 3 of them injured like we did last year.
Yeah.
So
Now, did they yesterday? This is another question I wanted to ask Brandon. I probably should have been quicker on the draw. Did did they do any when they did the punts and the kickoff stuff? Did they have any returners out there showing who the returners would be?
I don't know.
There was some stuff on, was it YouTube or someone posted it off one of the Iowa websites. Someone was posting something about, was it the special teams coach or somebody was saying he was kind of naming some guys that could be back there filling punt or catching punts and kickoff returns. But
I know Tom Kakert reported that it was Lutmer. And then who was the second guy? But the third guy that he didn't know would be back there was Evan James.
Evan James, yep.
Tony D was his buddy.
I thought they talked about Breven Dowell yet in the media day too.
Maybe. I know they've talked about Brevin as the kickoff returner because he's got great straight line speed. But
Cyhawk C Money says last year lacked a breakaway guy. He says Jalen here, but I think he means
Caleb,
yeah. Caleb Johnson in 2024. Yeah, he was a great breakaway. He break tackles, and there he was gone. He was off to the races. Man, I feel so bad for him. He might not have a spot left with the Steelers.
And he ain't gonna get the great big holes to run through in the NFL. That offensive line gave him at Iowa. It's totally
well. That's what I said. I think the other
level. He's not at Iowa. He wasn't the guy that if he didn't have a hole, he wasn't picking up the extra yards.
No, he got either lost yardage or only gained 1 or 2 yards a carry.
And then the NFL that don't work.
Do we have a running back or a wide receiver that has breakaway speed?
When you get a big hole, we do.
Is this offensive line?
Up the obvious.
Is this offensive line going to be able to open up those holes? Or are these guys going to have to just claw and fight their way like they did last year?
Well, let's hope so.
I don't know. I thought our offensive line did fine. Pass blocking last year, run blocking is just that. We didn't have. Well, first of all, we had injured running backs, nicked up running backs all the way through. And Moulton is not a breakaway guy. He'd run through great holes and he'd pick up 9 yards when maybe, Caleb would have picked up 30.
Yeah.
But I ain't worried about our offensive line this year.
They're fine.
By the way, today Kakert said that the Iowa coaches told him after yesterday that Cale Winter is their center.
Okay.
Cade Pieper is going to be the right guard, so we don't have to wonder about that battle.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was ever a battle because Kirk hinted earlier that he wanted Pieper as a guard because he plays it very well.
I know after the spring he said Pieper is our center.
Yeah.
And then he said the first week of practice they shared snaps at center. So anyway, but that's what Kakert said. Kakert usually gets the story right. So anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Where do we want to go from here? Any more talk on the pregame? Anything on anybody particular you guys want to talk about?
I think we just let it play out. We'll all find out who the starting quarterback will be. So
yeah. I just, guys, in my opinion, Iowa's kicking off too late in the year. I think, man, I don't know if I can wait after Labor Day like this. I want to.
Yeah, you can, because you got to think about this. We've kicked off on Labor Day weekend for how many years in a row now?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of a tradition. And then with Fry Fest happening and Iowa City that weekend will be hopping.
I just don't.
Is that Labor Day weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I do not like the way that college football, the fall practices are set up. Only 20 practices. What the hell? Hayden, your fall practice would be 30, 40 days long, and they practice twice a day.
They start in July.
It would have been 70 practices. Now
they don't do two-a-days anymore because they outlawed 2-a-days for both high school and college.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Pay these guys all this money, and it's such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get the teams, let the kids get ready, and I don't like that because the teams that are not elite, that have a $50 million amount of money that they spend on 5-star high school recruits and 4 stars, and then they go and get 15 All-American transfers every year. They're way they got a cheat code going in, let alone our developmental schools.
100%.
Developmental schools at Iowa, then we don't get to develop as long as we used to. But that's why I'm glad we're not scheduling Oklahoma and Notre Dame. So
he's not.
Would it be nice to play Notre Dame again? Because since we haven't played them in over 70 plus years,
I think we should play them, but for the national championship and the playoffs.
Okay.
I think every Big Ten team ought to tell Notre Dame to go to heck and not schedule them.
I think Notre Dame turning down a bowl appearance because they got snubbed in the playoffs. I think they should be penalized this year and have no playoffs and no bowl game, no matter what they do.
They have a great team this year.
Yeah,
but
I
understand that, but I think they need to be punished for you can't do that. Just turning down bowl games. I understand why Iowa State turned theirs down. They didn't have a coach or players anymore.
True, but the thing with Notre Dame was they had to win at Miami, and they lost. And that's why Miami got in.
Yeah, it was between those two, right?
Yes, because of that schedule and that game. That's why Miami got in than Notre Dame. That's why Notre Dame didn't get in.
Have a better strength of schedule.
Yes.
It's like this year, if Iowa would only had 2 losses last year, we're in the playoff. This year it could be a little more problematical because our schedule isn't quite as tough as it was last year, supposedly. We'll wait when we beat Illinois' rear end. If Illinois still has 9 wins this year, that's a heck of a win.
Right.
By the way,
we don't know how good Iowa State is at all.
Yeah.
If Iowa State somehow is a 7-8 win team and we beat them, hey, that helps us.
Right.
Hey, Cyhawk, is there any chance because you call yourself Cyhawk that you're also a Cyclone fan? Because maybe you could come on and tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Cyclones. I know that they had their media days and they got a little bit more. The media got a little bit better figuring out what's going to go on with that team. Who?
We already know that the new coach doesn't like Iowa already, so let's shut him up real quick.
Yeah, if that game is close, I'm going to be mad. That game should be a blowout.
Hey, I'll tell you this, guys. The Cyhawk for Iowa State games at 6:30. At 1:00 in the afternoon, they are retiring Kurt Warner's number up at UNI against Drake. Same day. Yeah, so I might go check out good old number 13, Kurt Warner. getting his jersey retired. So go see how
I was
you
so
and I
mad.
is actually good.
I was so mad. I moved back to Iowa a year after he left the arena.
After you let the Barnstormers, jeez.
Yeah,
Man.
that's what I said. I wanted to see him play with the Barnstormers, and of course, the first year I'm back, I go to several Barnstormers games. He's no longer with the team, obviously, but they weren't even living up to the hype that they were having before when he was with them.
The thing is with
I dropped a note in the mail to Hayden Fry when Kirk was playing at Cedar Rapids Regis and told him,
right.
God, recruit this guy. Boy, does he have does he throw a nice ball and got a nice arm and everything. But
right.
I didn't listen to you. See, if you hadn't wrote him, he probably would have recruited him. But he goes, "I'm not going to let a fan tell me to recruit."
I know we were recruiting. Hayden recruited All-American guys from all over the country. He was probably recruiting like that guy that went to Arizona State, and I can't remember his name, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Cyhawk says, was anybody around to see Forrest Shevcheski at Iowa? Tom Moore paid him a huge compliment. Must have been an amazing guy. He didn't stay at Iowa very long. Here's what happened. How many years? Was he about 8 or 9 years as the head coach?
About 8, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
about 8. And the AD job came open, and he wanted to be both AD and head coach, and they said he could only choose one, so he chose the athletic director. That's why he...
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know how long he stayed as athletic director.
Until about 1970 or 71.
Is that when Bump Elliott came in?
Yeah, Bump took his place.
Yeah, okay, and I think for Shevcheski, he did... For Shevcheski, I think he did help do some color commentary for a while.
He was Zabel's color man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a surprise guest I'm going to be bringing on here in just a moment.
Yeah, he also kind of went into athletic director because he was having some chest pains. He was kind of worried about keeping coaching football might affect his health, But.
Okay. Anyway, so here's the deal. I was around when Forrest Shevcheski was head coach at Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But I was 4 years old when he became athletic director.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, I want to bring on, we've been reading comments from Cyhawk C Money all night. Here he is in person.
There's the guy.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Cheers, guys. So we
got an Iowa Cup there, so we got to think it's an Iowa fan. We're hoping so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
You guys got me on or what?
We have you on. You're on live right now.
It's a pleasure, guys.
Don't I see you on Corey Brady's all the time?
Awesome.
What?
Yes, sir, Calvin.
Yeah.
And Calvin, I'm waiting for you to come on camera because you're a wealth of knowledge, and I just adore this show here because you guys you're like Iowa history, you're Iowa folklore. You guys lived it back in the good old days, so to speak.
Yeah.
Similar to your opener on your channel.
Soon as you came up on there, the only other podcast I really appear on is Zach Heine's, who he works for the same guy that Corey works for, Mark Rogers. But
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that wants to be on. Dean kind of talked me into it, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you guys rock. In my world, I hold you in a high regard. You guys, from your show opener with the older 60s type music, and it just warms my heart. I'm stuck up here in Michigan, and you guys bring me back. You guys bring me back to Iowa, every time I get to tune in. I adore this show, and I'll just say that I was on vacation. It was 2 years ago and 6 years ago, and I'm walking. We're on we rented a lakeside home on Burt Lake in Michigan, northern Michigan.
I know this
And
story because you told it on Corey's. Go ahead.
so I'm a busy body. I like to be on the move. I can't just sit around. So I'm walking down the path on our beach home,
Mhm.
and I walk up and I see the sign Evashevsky Way.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I go up and yeah, and I talked to his neighbor. He wasn't home, but it was Forrest Evashevsky, and he has a home on Burt Lake in Michigan. And I wasn't shy. I was going up. I was knocking on his door. I had to talk to this man. Well, I
Is he
didn't.
still
I didn't
alive?
get lucky, and I think since then he may have. I don't know. I think since then he may have
No,
passed. This was
he's gone now, maybe like 8-10 years, but
Okay.
so
okay. And my wife, when I talk about our couch being 6 years old, she says, that couch is 14 years old. So my timeline,
Okay.
but I
Okay,
don't want
first
to
of
pay for
all-
a new couch. So.
Okay, first of all, Cyhawk, I got a couple questions for you.
Evachevsky was the blocking back for Tom Harmon.
Yeah,
the
he was
Heisman.
actually a Michigan
He
boy.
played
Okay.
against Niall Kinnick, and he was going to take the Indiana job, and then some guy, Fritz Chrysler or somebody, told him, it's easier to win at Iowa than it is Indiana, so he come to Iowa.
Okay. Easier. Yeah,
Are you,
and that
uh,
proved to be true for Indiana until Zanetti got there.
Right. Are you up near the UP? Like, how far is the UP from you?
No. Oh, it's up there. It's
Right.
8 hour drive.
Yeah, here
I'm
in
in southeast Michigan.
Okay. How far is Ann Arbor from you guys?
I'm about an hour.
East Lansing or Lansing, I mean?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
That's not bad at all.
And I'm sorry, I misspoke. I misspoke. It's they're both about an hour and a half
Okay.
realistically. So
That's one of the away games I went up to was
like I got to go.
Right.
Yeah. I my brother and I sat in when the Detroit Tigers were in the World Series in 2006. We went down and watched Iowa play Michigan in the Big House, and then we went to the World Series at Comerica Park downtown Detroit. We lost both of those games, but it was still a memorable day. But so to answer your question, I grew up a brainwashed Hayden Fry, Tom Davis, Hawkeye.
Okay.
I hated Iowa State. I love golf,
There you go.
and I had some family that happened to be a sports information director at Iowa for a period of time, and actually was assistant AD at Iowa. We got into the locker room. We got to handshake with players, my brother and I was totally brainwashed.
Was that
And,
Fred? Was that Fred Mims or George Wine? Who was it? Or you don't want to say?
No, well, it was a step uncle. I don't want to say. I don't want
Sworn
to
to
say because
secrecy.
but it was no a great guy. He was kind of a step uncle is what it would be.
Okay,
But
cool.
great guy. Yeah, but I don't bring people into the limelight unless they want to be brought
I
in.
don't
But anyway, I got into the locker room, shook Hayden Fry's hand. I got to shake Tom Davis's hand. I got to meet a lot of Hawkeyes mostly during the basketball season, but I was totally brainwashed. Well, then I decided I love golf and I want to be a golf course superintendent. So I'm going to major in horticulture. Iowa didn't offer horticulture.
Iowa State.
So I said, well, I can't go to Iowa State.
Well,
I had a buddy at Southwest Missouri State.
Oh, there you go.
And so I said, well, I'll go down there and try and make the golf team because I got another buddy that's on the golf team at Southwest Missouri State. And I ended up missing the cut by one. I joined a fraternity and my grade point average just crashed and burned. So I said, okay, what am I going to do with my life now? So I realized, okay, I've got to segregate my mind. My sports mind stays true to Iowa, but academically, I'm going to give Iowa State a try because it's my only choice. And I went there. I loved the professors, loved the university. I couldn't withstand the torture of being a fan of those sports. Basketball season was fun, but football season, you wanted to jump off the back of the stadium top row.
Who was coach when you were you were there?
Oh,
Dan
geez.
McCarney. If Troy Davis was there, Dan McCarney was. Jim Walden?
I think it was right before it.
Donnie Duncan? Jim Walden, Donnie Duncan.
It was right before McCarney, because it was
Jim Walden.
I graduated 95, fall of 95, so I guess I did get maybe I got a taste of McCarney. But anyway, the point, and I worked a lot. I went to very few games because I wasn't interested. I was a Hawkeye fan.
There you go.
So,
there you go. I was going to tell you this.
I'll say this.
Okay. I'm listening.
I'll just say this, though. The passion of Iowa State fans is equal to the passion of Iowa Hawkeye fans. I adore Iowa because we have that passion for our sports and we support our schools. And lastly, I want to say this. In the end, I'm a season ticket holder for 4 years now, and I have my Swarm membership's expired, and I can't renew it because I canceled it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But
I actually canceled mine. I canceled mine 1 month before they.
Just give your money to Flight Fund. So simple.
I'm a Kirk Ferentz. There you go. But I'm a Kirk Ferentz guy through and through. I love everything that Kirk Ferentz represents. He's first class. He's consistency. He's hard work. He's everything that Iowa everything about Iowa is what Kirk Ferentz represents. And I adore the man, and I'm torn. I really like Tim Lester. I like Seth Wallace. I don't know if I feel the magic yet on who's going to be the predecessor. That's what my concern is. I mean, when Hayden was leaving, I wanted Stoops. Didn't know much about Kirk. And man, Kirk sure won me over. So I think I can keep the faith and have trust that when the time comes, we're going to get the right guy. But I love KF. I'm grateful to be a Hawkeye fan. The Hawkeyes bring me so much joy. It's worth that 1,000-mile round trip on a weekly basis a lot of times. But I
Holy
fight the
cow.
good. I
Well, you
I
got
fight
three.
the
You
good
got
fight.
3 in a row coming
I
up.
fight. It's tough. I got the wife already trying to talk me out of it, and I'm not. I'm all in. We got
Don't
10 guys
listen
coming to
to it.
Ohio State game. Ohio State's going down. Okay.
Yeah.
You have my personal guarantee. I will do whatever it takes when I'm in that stadium. Ohio State is going down. I guarantee
Right.
it. Okay.
It's like
And
last week,
I
one of
give you a
our,
personal guarantee.
last week, one of our co-hosts, he said, well, Kirk should just rest his players and not play the starters very long because we're going to get beat by Ohio State. And I said, hell, I'm more of the thinking that Ohio State better rest their starters in the second half when we're ahead by 35 points. You know what I mean? You got to stay
Yeah.
positive. Go darn it.
Listen. Listen. Any visiting fans in that stadium, bring your earplugs because we're going to hit 115, 118 decibels most of the game. And I got representation coming with me, and we are there to win. And I'll tell you what, I'm not a betting man, but I may place a bet on that game because I'm confident. I got a cocky Ohio State Buckeye fan right next door to me. And you know what?
Yeah.
About we're due. The law of odds says we're going to win.
Yeah.
And
Hey, how does
I
a
just sense it.
Buckeye fan survive living in Michigan?
I was just going to ask that question. Oh,
No,
geez.
you know what? It's there's a lot more Buckeye fans. I'm in a cul-de-sac that we got like in my sub we have like 50 homes. There's probably 3 Purdue, 1 Illinois, 3 Buckeyes fans, 3
Man.
Michigan fans, probably 6 Michigan State, and I think there's 2 Buckeye, and then me, I'm the lone Hawkeye, but I'm the loudest of all the neighbors. So, but
you probably had a heyday on that
it's
woodshed
a-
game with
it's a-
with your Buckeye neighbors.
yeah. Well, no, I didn't because I was there when
Mhm.
Amari Hooker picked 6 to when those fools that were late coming into the game didn't even see the first score. Yeah, we were there. It was lit. My buddies, I invited them in. And last year we ended up going to the Wisconsin game because they wanted a guaranteed win. And I said, I'm going to that game, but you guys are cowards to not want to come to the Indiana game or the Oregon game because we're going to take them down too. And we just about did. And both of
we did.
No, really. Indiana and Oregon were fortunate. Indiana and Oregon were very fortunate to come out of Kinnick with the win. And every time, I'm not kidding you, every time, all these visiting fans, because I sit in section 101, which is the visitor section.
Yeah, but it's
right on the end zone line.
When I go, I always sit in 101 too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always take my cousin's ticket. She has a block of 4 in 101.
Yeah, and
so I'm 101 on row 12.
And the truth of the matter is, all 4 losses, the other team was lucky last year.
Right.
USC was lucky 3 of our offensive linemen were hurt in the second half, and it was pouring down rain. Iowa State was lucky. Holy shit, were they lucky? So.
Yeah. Well, then, Gronowski said when he scored that touchdown against Oregon, he'd never heard a crowd so loud in his life. You know,
Yeah,
he said it was
that
deafening.
that joint was lit, man.
Yeah, it was. I was at
Yeah,
that
it was
Oregon game
lit,
with my
and-
daughter.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
I gotta tell the other
Now,
two guys on this podcast for years. This guy, I don't know what your name is on there on Corey's thing, but
What's your name on Corey's show?
whenever you're on Corey's show, I always think, oh my God, here's somebody that's sane. Here's somebody that isn't. You aren't
That actually knows
hyper.
the shit.
You aren't a drama queen. You're not
Yeah.
hyperbolic.
Yeah.
You know. So
You're-
I sure
you're
am
pretty-
glad
Yeah,
you
well,
join us. You
so-
join us anytime you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
agree
can.
on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sci-Hawk,
it's
is
a-
is that your name on Corey's
it's a
show
pleasure.
too?
I usually go with some sort of theme, like it's not Brian's fault, or
Oh,
or whatever my player of the game,
That is awesome.
or I go with an unsung hero. Like a lot of times, there's a key play in the game that I feel there's a player that isn't getting any recognition that made a pivotal play in the game that's not been acknowledged. So I try to
Right.
do that. But
okay.
I'll just say this: I love Corey Bratta. He's a professional guy, but if he does anything that I don't like, when Brian Ferentz was offensive coordinator, Corey Bratta would jump on the Brian Ferentz hate wagon, and that bothered me. Brian Ferentz was not the greatest offensive coordinator, but he also didn't have the greatest tools to work with. And so Iowa fans would all gang up on Brian Ferentz. And Kirk Ferentz, to me, I trust in Kirk Ferentz, and I trust that he would change his own son's job if that was required to improve Iowa football. Now, is Kirk loyal to a fault with everybody? And does Kirk give quarterbacks or coaches excessive time to improve before he makes a change? Yes, he does that, but I like that in Kirk. I like.
Well,
the
here's an
Pittsburgh
upcoming
Steelers that they
problem
gave
I
Mike
see with Kirk.
Tomlin.
Okay. Here's a problem I see with Kirk. Okay. Hetlitsky might be named the starting quarterback this year. Okay. And he's got 3 more years after this year.
2 more.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
2 more.
Yeah, he's got 2 more.
Okay. So the way Kirk is loyal, no matter what the backup quarterbacks do, they could be better than him in both spring and in summer camp. And he's going to stick with Helinski because he's loyal to a person who started before. And I think sometimes that hurts us a lot.
Well, Dean.
Well,
You know, you always come up with some angle that is like a funny way to think about things.
Right.
You know?
Right. And he's not wrong.
Kirk in his history at Iowa has never made a bad decision at quarterback.
No.
You can go back the whole darn way. I wouldn't worry about that. I would just, like Beth said the other day, they asked her, about giving Kirk an extension, and she says, well, there's a lot of things in nowadays in college athletics, with this bill in Congress, NIL, all this stuff. And she said, the only thing I lose sleep over is that Kirk Ferentz might retire, and I won't have Kirk Ferentz anymore.
Okay. All right, guys, I want to tell you guys a couple things. First of all, Boy's been patiently saying, where does Earl Bruce fall in the Iowa State lineup? And then I got one more thing I need to say.
Earl Bruce was right after Johnny Majors. Johnny Majors left for Pittsburgh in 74 or 5. Earl Bruce took over. And then Earl Bruce, after Woody Hayes hit a Clemson player in '79, Earl Bruce took over Ohio State. He was a former Ohio State assistant with Woody.
Alrighty. T. Hink has chosen not to show his face, but he is on here with us live. Or he was.
Okay.
I guess he jumped off. I guess
Mhm.
he didn't give me enough time to introduce him. You can come back.
Did you have any, while we got you on
Yeah,
here,
he's-
do you have thoughts on the spring game? Cyhawk.
Myself, I'll say this. I think I'm going to predict Hecklinski gets the starting job, but Kirk, I know that Heck is worried. He worried Kirk in the past. I can sense that Kirk's worried about turnovers with him because he's a loose cannon. He's ready to let it rip. To me, I see a potential here that we could have a Drew Tate. I'm kind of excited,
Tate,
and
More one.
I, for lack of a better term, I just sense that maybe we've got a piss and vinegar quarterback that's going to ignite the passing game like we haven't seen in a long, long time, along with a stable of running backs that I don't care. I shouldn't say this, but if somebody gets hurt, it's not going to matter. And so I'm excited, and our wide receiver room is better than it's been in years. So I'm, normally I would sell a couple of the off game tickets early season. I don't think I'm doing that. I think I'm making the trip. It's going to be a lot of miles on the car, but it's going to be worth the trip. I'm excited. I'm stoked. And this is like this. To me, there's a lot of uncertainty because we have an unproven quarterback, but we have a supporting cast. And to me, the one variable that is the difference maker in college football quarterbacks, in my opinion, is when the play breaks down or when guys lock down on third down, can he run and get the 3 or 4 or 5 yards? And I believe that Hecklinski may more times than not get that done, and we're going to find out. But that remains to be seen. But also, I think we're just more of a refined passing game. I like what I'm hearing about Hecklinski talking about and receivers talking about we got to get to the same spot every time consistently. And Budmeyer talking about that. They're starting to dial in the precision on the passing game that the guys got to show up at the same spot and be available and open at the same spot every time. And they're starting to refine that passing game and get those patterns, the precision worked out so that you can have an effective passing. So I'm excited for that. And that's just going to open up the run game. And then the run game is going to open up the pass game. And then we're so loaded at tight end that it's, and as long as the guys can make the throws, and you look at Hank Brown had a tough kids day, but Hecklinski, he's making the throws. He's throwing the balls away when they're not there. He's not throwing it up into trouble. I'm excited. Now Hecklinski doesn't have a bomb of an arm, but that's kind of a good thing because it lends itself to getting the ball out quick. I think that the quicker throw is, and then you know what, he can still run it, scramble, get out of the pocket, and do a Drew Tate Holloway thing. I think he's got 50 yards on his arm. We'll find out. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for the season.
He also has another ability. He has the talent where he can hand the ball off behind a great big offensive line with these running backs.
Okay. All right, guys.
That's what every quarterback needs.
I got a couple of good comments from Bob Hoffman. He agrees with me on this comment. Some wrongly think the QB battle is over based on the Kids Day practice. He says way too early in his opinion, and I agree with that.
Yep.
Bob also says Corey, the Super Hawk fan who travels from Michigan to games. So we now know your real first name, Corey. And that's who I thought you were, because I thought I recognized you.
I have a couple things with
so I'm
what Corey
and I go on Corey.
Yeah. So my brother went to Kirkwood for 2 years and then went to Iowa State. Well, he also lived in West Ames, which is right across the street right across the street from the men's basketball and women's basketball practice facility. And outside his big window, him and his roommates, huge Iowa flag. So I'll give you props to that, for going to Iowa State, but of course being a Hawkeye. And I went to Visha 1 year, and I was decked out in all of Iowa stuff. I didn't care, what happened or anything. So we're in Ames. We're at a bar. We're just getting ready to eat pizza. And I can't remember what the name of the pizza place was in Ames. Pretty good, I might add.
Size Roost or something.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I was talking to one of the guys I saw there, and he was like 6'6", 250. Then behind me, we have these like 4 or 5 Iowa State people just running their mouth, just why you shouldn't be up here, blah, 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 blah. Here comes the 6'6" guy, clocks him, and says, run. And I run outside the bar a good probably 100 yards. He catches up to me, and I said, what happened? He goes, dude, I am a huge Iowa fan. That guy was running his mouth at you, and you just took it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to jail for assault. That's why I said run. So I had to tell that story. But
you needed to have Matt Roth with you.
Yeah. So, but I agree with what Corey's saying. But you got to think about this. Coach KF has got, or Tim Lester also has, 2 quarterbacks that he has been working with for well over a year and almost 2 years under his wing. And his knowledge is all of his knowledge, so, and KF knows, hey, he'll tell you the week of the game or 2 weeks before the game, who he's thinking is naming the starter. That has been his MO for how many years? You know what I mean?
One of those quarterbacks didn't come until last May.
Right. But what I'm saying is, he's got Hank Brown, who came in, from Auburn.
He's got Sullivan, who enrolled early. He's been through 2 spring practices and then 2 fall practices when he gets through here. And then he's got the 2 transfers who are like that. Now, Fitzgerald didn't enroll early. He was from a Catholic school or something, and they wouldn't allow him to leave school.
Right.
But, he's got 3 guys that have been in the offense for
knows
for a long
stuff.
time.
And right. And I'll have to share what I was listening to on Friday with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. He is a Quad City guy, and he does the pregame show for the Hawkeyes.
Yes, he does.
And,
he does a darn good job, too.
Yes, he does. And I used to intern with him, and that's how I've known Dazzo. But he interviewed a bunch of players, so I'll have to share it so you guys can watch it, of the media day on Friday. So, and he breaks down a lot of things. They talk to Pat Anger. I know you meet you know who Pat Anger is, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There, Corey.
Oh
yeah. Pat's a really good dude. Yep. Yeah. And he's a Bettendorf guy. And every time I see Pat up in the Quad Cities, which is where I'm from, I always have to ask how Brett Greenwood is doing. And so, he said Brett's been doing, speech is okay. But he said his memory is kind of off and on, but he said the long term, he'll know who you are, and and that's really good to know, after what happened with Brett. So
I still remember when
Yes.
he walked out with Doyle,
Mhm.
arm in arm.
Oh,
went
I
out.
still look at that. I get goosebumps hearing that. I love it. That's probably one of my favorite moments in Iowa football for me. You know, and I'm just a
Alrighty.
new guy. I mean, what do I know? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so our show regular,
And
Jason Hackwell, coach, also known as Coach, wants to know who the new guy is.
Oh, Jay.
He won't tell us, but his name's Cy Hawk, and I see him
Yeah.
regularly on Corey's show. And he's very good. He's very good, very
Very
balanced.
knowledgeable.
He's not into BS and all that
No, you
crap.
tell it how it is, and I like that.
Mhm.
Man, your wife's lucky to have you.
So
and you drive from 1,000 miles all the way from, Michigan all the way to Iowa City.
Hey, before we go further, I just want to say,
I
Hink, if you're still out there, please come back. I was trying to find the right time to introduce you. You were on the air with us, but you're gone now. Okay.
Did you see the start of the show where I said that Kakert said that the coaches said Winters is their center now, Cale Winters.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was I thought that was up in the air. I was a little bit shocked,
Well,
but
it is.
obviously, I mean, Peeper's a better right guard than he is a center, but I thought that I thought the lineman coach was saying that, hey, we're gonna play it out because collectively as a unit, Peeper, though he's better at right guard, we might play him at center because as a whole overall unit, our substitute for guard for Peeper might be better than our substitute for center for Peeper, is the way I took it. But since then they've made the
Yeah.
consensus that nope, we're gonna let Peeper play at his best position.
They said their
And
best.
then we got a center that can do the job.
Their best. They think Cale Winter is a better center than who would be at right guard if Peeper wasn't there. Is what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's their best unit, like you said.
Yeah.
That's their best.
Well, that's
spot.
what, like I said,
And
Kirk had
that's-
hinted earlier that Peeper will probably be at guard.
But
He
rest
said he
assured
was
that
too
he's our
valuable
backup
at
center.
guard. He was too good at guard.
People will probably play center for 13 years in the NFL. Well, he will. He's Kirk has told the NFL scouts he's a little taller than most centers, other than James Daniels that's been at Iowa. He's 6'4", and he's got longer arms. He's a better prospect than Linderbaum.
Yeah.
As a center.
Scared. I get scared every time we change centers. It's just like, oh man, that's a delicate position.
I know. One
And a
thing.
lot of things can go wrong if you don't have a good center.
Logan Jones was at center for 3 years, right?
Yep.
And I know I have guys that watch practice and tell me what's going on. They said they had way less problems with shotgun snaps and regular snaps this year with 3 different guys snapping. Four different guys than Logan Jones. Logan, that was one of his things in games and in spring games and everything, was he just was not as consistent snapping the ball as any of these guys. So that's a good thing. So.
Yeah. I do want to give a quick shout out to Boy says even Fritz looked better than Brown. but I wanted to give a quick shout out to 2 of our boys who played on the Pittsburgh Steelers the other night and how well they looked. And then we have a Penn State guy hooking up with an Iowa guy for a touchdown. Or not quite it was a touchdown, yeah.
Well, yeah, he got a touchdown on the next play.
The next play. Yep.
And Calvin pointed out, reminded me.
Jennings
don't
really
forget
good.
about Brandon Smith.
No,
was he in that game? I didn't even remember him playing.
I didn't look at the film.
Was he on the? He's on the Steelers.
I didn't. I gotta rewatch the game.
Okay.
I think it might have been about the first play of the game. He caught an 8-yard pass.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, I forgot all about the game being on, and I turned it on just in time to see Witchen catch that 74-yard pass.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a nice little end route, and then he cut, and boom.
Well,
Yeah.
He broke a couple tackles.
Did
one guy.
Did
I
you
know
hear Mike Holt?
What? Did I hear what?
Did you hear Mike Holmgren talk about Caden Weegan? And he said, listen, the reason we picked him is he needs to finish that and get that in the end zone. So Mike Holmgren is he knows what Caden's about, but Caden stumbled on that run.
Yeah, that was that was his coach, Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy, yeah, McCarthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen that today.
I'm showing my age here, saying Mike Holmgren.
I know where you're going. I got you.
I have this OCD thing.
McCarthy,
I have this OCD thing. Like if I'm watching a podcast or anything, if somebody says something, I always got to say, no, that's Mike McCarthy. You know, it's like I think Corey got a little irritated me at times where he'd say, this guy is at this position. And in the comments, I'd always say, no, it's blah, 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 and blah. You know? I got to apologize for my OCD. But,
no, you know what?
By the way, the reason why Calvin's on this show is because I got tired of his comments in the comment section, told him just to come on the show and say it.
The real reason I'm on this podcast was the week that they hired Tim Lester, me and Don Patterson were the only guys that were thrilled with this. And Dean couldn't find anybody else that would support the hire, so he had me on for an hour and a half. And I had all these people attacking me all night on here that it's a terrible hire. And
I thought it was smart. I thought it was smart.
Well, I just know that Kirk makes good hires, period. You know, but
hey, and Kirk, we trust.
First off, he's going to be it's going to be a good character guy, a solid human being that the players are going to want to go through a brick wall for. And, you know, if you can be that guy that wins the hearts of the players where they're willing to go through a brick wall and they have that amount of commitment into the program, now you've got you're maximizing potential. Now, you got to recruit, but to me, you can build team chemistry and you can maximize potential if you have the coaches that can get that out of them. Does Kirk recruit top 10? No, he recruits between top 25 and top 45 players, but in his recruiting classes. But collectively, they're greater than the sum of their parts, and that's what I love about Kirk Ferentz. So,
and the thing is, he turns these guys to All-Americans.
Yes, I mean, look at he takes a bunch of nobodies that nobody wants and pumps more guys into the NFL than he has any business in doing.
Who do you want to be your left tackle in the NFL? Trevor Lauk or Caden Proctor? End of sentence.
Lauk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Lauk.
Yeah.
Proctor is just, man, that whole deal.
Yeah. Another thing I got to mention that I wanted to get it in tonight before we leave the show was I just mentioned Trevor Lauk, a guy that really stood out in the spring game or the kids' day yesterday was his backup, Mr. Nolan. We don't have to worry. We don't have to worry too much when Lauk leaves for the NFL this next. I think he'll probably go in the NFL.
I think he was one.
Him and Vonamy and Lutmer and Pieper will all be gone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Pieper.
Yeah, but I mean, I was going to say Nolan. I think was one of your picks to hit this year. You know, to have a great season.
I thought he was hurt last year. I was really expecting Allgaier might be one of the tackles next year. But anyway,
Yeah.
Nolan is a big dude. So
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my comment section right now. So I'm just going to read this last comment rather than put it up there. From Rick, another regular who's been on this show, who's taking a break right now from the show. Caitlin Clark, since the All-Star break, 25 points a game, 9.375 assists a game. And by the way, that was a heck of a game in overtime that they won today.
Yeah, I was so aggravated as always that she ended up with nine assists and she should have had 18 of them.
Right.
But nobody can make a shot.
Right.
Guys, did I tell you at church today I went to talk to my worship leader?
They are literally averaging.
Yeah. But hey, guys, I was going to tell you today I wore my Caitlin Clark hat. Okay. And at church today, and I went up to talk to my worship leader about a song I thought we should sing. And he looked at my hat and he goes, "Is that a real Caitlin Clark signed hat?" And I go, "Yes, it is. She actually signed that hat." And he goes, "Wow, you got tickets or something? How'd you get that?" And I go, "My sister-in-law for my birthday. She got it from me." She has fever tickets.
You got to think about this. When those old churches first started, everybody's like, "Oh, what's this hymn?" Well, I can guarantee you this. In my old church that I used to go to in the Quad Cities, I found "In Heaven There Is No Beer." I was like, "No way."
Your church sang
hymnal. That? No, they didn't. But I had to show. I just showed one of my classmates at the time. I was like, "Hey, you got to see this." And he was a big Iowa fan, and he goes, "No way." I go, dead serious. I was like, "This is freaking cool."
Yeah. So,
one comment I wanted to make. We talked about Kinnick Stadium getting amped up and the electricity. There's 2 times that I received, well, actually 3 times that we received significant comments from a lot of visiting fans. The first was when my dad was still alive and I screwed up and I had to book more tickets and I bought tickets clear up the top of Kinnick and my dad had to drink like 6 5-hour energy drinks to get all the way up to the top of the stadium. He had full-blown cancer. He was lit up like a Christmas tree, but we made it to the top, and he said, "This is the best day of my life." We beat Penn State in 2021 with Brian Ferentz and Spencer Petras and all the people that Corey Bratta hates. And beats on every time listen. He brings those 2 names up. Corey Bratta, I love Corey Bratta, but he brings those 2 guys up every one of his shows. He's got to bring those guys in to beat up on them, and they're not there to protect themselves.
And he makes fun of
and so I step up.
Meyer and Barnett, all these guys that are doing a great job, but that's Corey. So
yes, and those guys are winning in the end. They're just in it for the long game, and in the short game, people can beat on them, but in the end, they're winning. And but as far as the stadium being amped, I would say that the loudest I've experienced is 2021 Penn State, and all the fans are like, "This place is electric." And my dad, with full-blown cancer, drinking a beer, because what's it going to do, kill him? He turns to him and he says, "Welcome to Kinnick." And my dad didn't flex much, but I really enjoyed that moment when my dad says,
"No, I don't mean,
welcome to Kinnick."
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh when you were telling that story about your dad, but I went with one of my other cousins once, and we walked to the very top of Kinnick, and I had 2 bad knees, what do you call it, plantar fasciitis, or how do you say that?
Plantar fasciitis.
On my foot, Okay, and it was the coldest day ever at Kinnick. We went to watch Michigan, and we beat Michigan that day. I can't remember the name of the coach, the Michigan coach, but I think he went to Virginia Tech or Virginia or something like that. But he got fired from Michigan.
Yeah.
That'd be Rodriguez.
Rich Rod, yeah.
West Virginia.
Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Rich Rod.
Yeah, but I had to put that in there because
so
I understand your dad on that now. But
I
had fun. We had fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah. What I said in the
my dad was so pumped. He's like,
I bet.
Yeah. Okay, hey guys, Toll House. I can't put this comment up because I'm having a hard time with the comments. But Toll House says, I don't know what you guys think, but I have noticed that Kirk Ferentz seems like he's having a lot more fun than maybe the past 12 or 10 or 12 years where he's always been so buttoned up.
Well, he's on
you guys see that in him?
He's got more of an even playing field now.
Right.
You know, he gets let's see, how much money does he get? He gets about $23 million to spend now. He gets he got $8 million from the Swarm about every year, and then the $15 million in profit sharing. You know, and now it looks like he's going to have $45 million. You know, he isn't playing at quite as big a deficit. You know, and he's smart enough to go out and get these players that are bargains, just like he recruited bargains, you know, Dallas Clark and all these guys at Cooper DeJean who were nothings in high school. You know, Kirk's good at this, so count your blessings. So,
Kyle, go for it.
If it pans,
no, go ahead.
If it pans out, Kirk Ferentz is pulling a little bit of a Signetti in his type of transfers that he's brought in, if it pans out. And but I want to finish my statement about decibel levels I've ever witnessed in Kinnick. So the first one was Penn State. The second one was Cooper DeJean when he returned that punt against Minnesota.
Oh my God, that had to be super loud.
That place, I was worried that the concrete was going to start cracking and breaking apart. I mean, that place was, it was, I've never, and then I'm going to tell you what, the third one that nobody talks about was when Zach Lutmer intercepted Mendoza against Indiana and returned it down the left sideline. I'm going to tell you what, that was the third loudest I've ever witnessed, if not, it was the third loudest. And I would say the fourth loudest is the Ohio State pick six.
To start the game.
You know, when they picked off, yes, Amari Hooker. But Zach Lutmer picking Mendoza off and bringing it back down to the 30 or whatever, that had to be the third loudest I've ever witnessed. I mean, it was incredible. And I thought we were going to win that game. I thought we had them beat. At that point, I'm like, that's it. They're not going to overcome this. We're going to roll them now. And so that was my take.
I got a couple comments about the atmosphere. One was Oregon of last year. And I can say that is because I was I had my daughter with me, and she is 11. And now she's been going to quite a few Iowa games this year with her mom and stepdad. And we were both soaked. I will tell you that. We were both soaked. But being 11 years old and having a daughter, and I said, at halftime, I'm like, can you tough it out? And she goes, yep, I can. And by that time, I had fans behind us that were rooting for Oregon, and they said they had their time of their life. They said they never heard a place this loud in a very long time, you know, playing, you know, of course, you know, the Oregon goes out to Penn State, goes out to the Big House, goes to, you know, the Horseshoe. And before game, I had fans saying that this is going to be fun. This atmosphere, I've heard all over from everybody that Iowa has a fan base that's nuts. They are crazy. and I will venture that. The second
Okay.
loudest time I had was when we beat Michigan State, and the kicker was from Regina, and I cannot think of his name, but I remember we beaten Michigan State, and we stormed the field, and I can remember one of my groomsmen in my wedding that I just had in July jumps on top of him. We ran up the tunnel into the locker room and then out the back door at Kinnick. That
Sounds
was
like you're a wild boy.
awesome. I mean, you get a chance to rush the field. Why not? I mean,
Mhm.
and but yeah, I agree with what Zach is saying for the atmosphere wise, and but as Iowa fans, we can always be optimistic every year because you got to think when Ferentz got the all-time win, last year, the Big Ten win, he even said to Anthony Barron, he said, my wife Mary lets me play a kid's game. He goes, I enjoy playing a kid's game. That's the class act KF is and always will be.
Okay, guys, I'm going to read. Okay, I'm going to read some comments. I need to get these comments out of the way. They've been piling up. Okay. All righty. We start with, wait a minute. I missed one up here. Okay. All righty. First of all, ask Kelvin if the Swarm is having issues. There's rumors, but I don't know if it's true. Why don't you explain what's going on with the Swarm? It no longer exists.
Swarm's over because they couldn't get any of their money through to the players through that clearinghouse very easy. And anyway, it's not like the Swarm's really over. You just send money to the flight.
Right.
To the University of Iowa, to the flight funds, and all the money that goes into the flight funds goes right to cover all that revenue share. If the fans don't cover the revenue share part that the courts say we can give to the players, the University of Iowa will lose a lot of money. So the Swarm's still going. It just ain't called the Swarm.
Yeah. All right. Toll House says, since Ferentz asked for a 66-yard field goal against Penn State that was returned for a touchdown, I think he's just been enjoying himself more. And he goes, he said it was a ridiculous for that decision, and he said Ferentz said that he thought it was a ridiculous decision, and we agree. Okay, I think I got one more comment.
No, I would argue.
Me too.
I third that.
If you,
he had a big win behind him.
Exactly.
Watch. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, but Ferentz took the heat for it, and he put it on his shoulders.
That's because he's a better man than the rest of us. It's the truth. He's the best man I know.
But in an argument on his behalf, if you look at the statistics of that kick attempt, the law of odds would say to go ahead and make the kick, because the chances of it being returned for a touchdown are so slim versus the potential of making the kick that you should still kick it. It was just that one fluke. It was that one fluke, just like when Auburn returned it on Alabama. That'll probably never happen in the history of the world again.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
It's like the same people that ridicule Kirk, which the people that are ridiculing Kirk for this are the same people that hate him every week. They really do. It's like the year before they were wanting him to try a 66-yard field goal into the wind against Iowa State at the end of the game. This one was a 66-yard field goal or 65, but he had like a hurricane behind him.
Yeah, he had to win with that.
He did. It was like I was out on the farm that night, and the damn wind was like 25 miles an hour constant.
Right in your face, yeah.
Well, not in the kicker's face. It was behind him.
Behind him,
And it was like, where are these people? They look so silly when they ridicule Kirk for not kicking against Iowa State, and then when he kicks against Penn State, it was just awful, And Kirk turned to LeVar and said, "Can he make it from here?" And LeVar goes, "Oh." So anyway,
why not try it?
That's the human being. That's the way humans are. They're biased in their opinion.
I think that in order to understand and to appreciate Kirk Ferentz, you have to understand he's playing football. To him, it's a field position game, and he's going to try to shift that field position. He's only going to get aggressive when the field is short, so that his odds of making an error are less. And he knows that he's got great defense.
Bingo.
So
That's it.
you don't have to take unnecessary chances. You play field position, and you wait and you strike when the iron is hot. When your field position is in your favor, that's when you strike, and that's when Kirk strikes.
That's why field position is so key, and that's why we have great punters over the years to place that ball, on the opponent's 20 or 10 or touchback, because he knows deep down our crowd is behind him, and so is our defense. 100%.
And
I'd rather play field position than anything.
Our average Iowa fan sees a punt as a failure. Kirk Ferentz looks at it as, listen, we just flipped field position 10 yards in our advantage on this punt. Now let's see on the next punt if we can gain another 5 yards of field position on the next punt, and then we'll strike, because we got a shorter field. That's the way he thinks. He doesn't think of we failed, we punted, we failed. No, he's maneuvering and manipulating field position and trying to establish a short field. Then he strikes when they're vulnerable, because your odds are much better.
Right. But look at what happened first play of the game in 2017 against Ohio State. I think we had a touchback, which Ohio State brought up to the 20 or 25 yard line back then. And then what happened? First play, pick six. Amani Hooker took it to the house. It's all about field position and how, Ferentz likes to flip it and knows that, hey, like I said, defense is behind us 100%. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, Kirk was the first coach that I was ever had that came from the NFL. He was in the NFL for 8 years or whatever, and he was from the Ravens last. He was from the Cleveland Browns before that. But anyway,
same team.
Yeah, but I thought he said the Patriots.
He was part of the Patriots too.
No, he wasn't. Never.
But wasn't he part of the Cleveland Browns when they picked up and moved to Baltimore?
He worked for Belichick and Nick Saban in Cleveland, and then they moved to Baltimore, and he was one of two guys from Cleveland that the owner took to Baltimore with him, Ozzie Newsome and Kirk Ferentz. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. I don't even know where the hell I was. Oh, he come from the NFL, and he learned that in the NFL, every game is a close game. So you have to really concentrate not only on defense and offense, but special teams. And Kirk was the first coach at Iowa that really put a big emphasis on special teams right from the very first year, recruiting Nate Kading and from Iowa City West. And he just had great special teams. It doesn't matter who the special teams coach is. Kirk sits in the back of that special teams room when they have meetings.
Well, this is why Kirk started to win games, because he did emphasize special teams. He said, "I want all my best players on the special teams." So he was actually pulling from his offense and defense and putting them on special teams to begin with. All right, I said my piece.
Kirk likes to have Kirk likes to have all three sections of a football team be good: offense, defense, and special teams. So,
100%.
Even Jack Campbell for the Detroit Lions, Jack Campbell was fighting to stay playing special teams. I heard Dan Campbell, the coach, talking about, and even at Iowa, uh, Jack Campbell was fighting to stay on special teams. All the starters, they took pride in that. And I think that also the other thing is the reason Kirk punts a lot is he goes, fine. You know what? We didn't get you with our offense. Here, let me feed you to the wolves. I'm gonna punt it, and we're gonna let our defense eat you alive. And he sees his defense as a weapon. And so he finds it in his advantage to put our defense out on the field because our defense can be our greatest weapon in conjunction with Kinnick Stadium fans. And I just watched a couple of interviews about other players that played in Kinnick talking about how Kinnick is one of the loudest stadiums. They even took my helmet. And I think it was quarterback for Michigan talking. But anyway, our fans got to understand that we are a weapon in Kinnick and that Kirk knows this. And Kirk will punt in a heartbeat because he loves to feed the opposing offense to our defense. Our defense is there to eat them up. And the only thing I'll say is back in my childhood days, we had the Big Mac sack attack, and we had Andre Tippett. And you know what? We need to get back to that. We need to get back to the Big Mac sack attack. We need to get this D line sacking quarterbacks on a regular basis. That needs to be one of our weapons that I think it's been diminished. I know that we do it. We kind of corral and bull rush versus trying to slash and get the quarterback sacked because we want to keep these mobile quarterbacks contained.
I was just going to say that.
From a fan base standpoint,
right?
From a standpoint of a fan base, there's no greater excitement as a fan in Kinnick Stadium than to sack that quarterback. And so that's some of the excitement. I hope that we
Hayden had a nose guard and two defensive tackles out on the tackles, and then he had two guys outside, had a 5-man front, and we just play we play a Norm Parker defense, them four guys up front, unless you're a freak of nature, unless you're a freak of nature like Jonathan Babineau inside or Matt Roth or somebody that can just defeat the guy in front of them. Their job is to tie up those 5 defensive linemen so the linebackers and the cash can make all the tackles, but
bend don't break.
Now it's just a difference. It's some of the players on Iowa, they get a little frustrated, that Brian Allen, that he can't just go running around for the quarterback the way he wants to,
right.
And that's just not the way they're going to play it. So, anyway,
the thing with that defense though, is I think that, sometimes they got to face some double teams and, those D linemen last year to me were a little bit smaller. I mean, we lost Y.A. Black, and that guy's a giant. And that's my concern is, can they tie up that O line so that they can't get into the second level and affect our linebackers? To me, that's my concern is our size on that D line. Do we have enough mass up there to affect?
We'll probably be so deficient on defense this year that we give up 14.8 points a game. I know it's not up to Phil Parker Phil Parker's 12.8 points a game. But our offense will probably average, I predicted in our bold position predictions last week that we would average 34 points a game on offense, which would be like the second or third highest ever. So maybe it'll balance out.
Right. I said 16, and then I said giving up 16, but then I think like what Calvin said, like 30 some points a game. Yeah. If you look at all of our averages from 20 to last year, it's like, again, bend don't break defense. We all knew, from 20 to 25, we kind of knew some of the guys on the defensive line and linebackers. But then all of a sudden, okay, we're giving up less than 20 points a game. So that defense, everything will just even out, I think.
Guys,
I'll be very surprised if the defense is not decent, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I say that.
Hank, I'm sorry you left the show too early after I brought you up, Hank. I'm sorry, you could have been on. Guys, I'm gonna actually end the show now. I'm getting really tired and sleepy, and so I've been walking around trying to wake myself up. But this has been a good discussion. This could actually go on all night long.
I hope not, because I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning for work. So
I'm getting up at 4. So
I'm gonna get up at 10:30 in the morning because I'm
Calvin,
disabled.
you do that. You sleep in
Yeah,
just like
I am.
Skyhawk will
I'm bitterly. This is not acceptable to me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm an early riser.
I want to ask the guy: is your name Corey? Somebody called you Corey.
My name's Corey. Yeah, I went. I went to. I went to Kirkwood. I played golf at Kirkwood.
Yeah, he was outed earlier, and I thought I recognized him as Corey.
Right.
This is what I ask every golfer, Corey. How many holes in one you got?
I got 0.
I'm talking to Corey.
I know.
I got 0.
I've
got it. I had it like this, but I can't. I haven't made one.
Hey guys, I want to say something real quick.
I got 4 of them.
Okay, hey guys, I want to say something. I'm going to walk away from the show for now, but if you guys want to continue it, go for it. I don't really want to end it, but I feel like my part's done. But if you guys want to talk for a while,
you'll just come back and shut her down.
Yeah,
that's up to Corey and Kyle. But
I don't care. I can talk for a little bit more than that. I got to go.
I'm having too much fun with Corey. I've always wanted to have him on the same show with him. But
he's very knowledgeable. Given his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do want to say one time I did try to go on Corey Brady's show. I was getting double feedback, and so I just told Corey, I said, I'm just going to say what I got to say and hang up because I'm so hurried because I'm hearing myself back.
So, Corey, do you want to stay on any longer? Or?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for a few minutes. Yeah. Might as well.
Yep.
All righty.
Yeah, we probably won't be on long, Dean.
Yeah.
So.
All righty.
Corey, if you want to, I'm friends with Calvin, and I usually share the off the air with Matt Rendezvous. And like I said, add me on Facebook, and then I shared what he said on Media Day. So that'll kind of answer some questions. And of course, Matt tries to do a good job with getting the Quad City guys, some praise, and interviewing a little bit. So Matt's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the Iowa football team.
If
he's had some great interviews. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you look for me on Facebook, Corey, I don't care who knows me. I just go by my name. My name on there is Kelvin Allen Fisher. So if you ever want to, and I share, because I'm disabled, I listen to everything.
He does. Calvin's very knowledgeable.
I share all of it.
Yep, with us. Yep.
On Facebook. So.
Yep.
Anyway, but
mine's Kyle Reimers. So I just got married. So you got any marriage advice for me?
It's a battle.
I knew it. I'll tell you this, and I have watched my parents and my wife's parents just going through life, and over the years, and I've learned that a happy wife is happy life. Do you know that concept?
Yeah, I just say we are different. We are differently wired, and
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
it's lends itself to conflict, and you got to kind of.
Yep.
I mean, we're going to be married 25 years, but
Wow, good for you guys. That's awesome.
It's not just all peace and quiet and love. I'll tell you, it's can be a battle sometimes, especially if you see differently politically, which we do, and it makes it really tough.
Yeah, I kind of stick out the
I
politics and say screw it and not talk about politics. And I just talk sports. So
Yeah, we try to stay off politics on here.
For sure. Oh, for sure. Are you
Yes.
from around? Are you originally
It's
from
just-
Iowa then?
Yeah, I grew up in Marion.
Oh, there you go.
Linmar or
Cedar
Marion High
Rapids.
School? Did you go to Linmar or Marion?
Marion High School. So Alex Moda, not Ryan Driscoll.
Yeah, Ron Gator.
Linmar was, yes, Ron Gator, 96. Yes.
Yep, and the Linmar guys
I
were
saw him.
Ryan Driscoll and Nick Mulhern. Nick Mulhern's uncle was my stockbroker for quite a while, but never made me any money, but he was my stockbroker.
You gotta, if you're gonna say Linmar, you can't forget the Bohannons. You know.
Yep. See, I don't know if you know this, but I've been writing about Hawkeye recruiting. I was with Hawkeye Recruiting Notebook, helping that guy since about 1979 or 80. So I know all
before I was born.
and I can't, and I have this brain that can't forget very much, even though I had chemo. So I know all them guys, but anyway, did you notice the next great wide receiver in Iowa? Did you notice the next great wide receiver at Iowa? Yesterday.
Who?
Brody Schaefer.
Are you talking
True freshman who didn't even enroll until June. He caught a 20-yard touchdown pass and then he dropped a 40-yard touchdown pass. But nobody can. He is so much like Cooper DeJean. They can't guard it.
Where's he from?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's going to be great.
I've got a. Yeah. And then you had you look at Linmar has probably put out more players because you got like Marcus Page that played for North Carolina.
Watched him in high school.
Marcus Page is now a assistant. Yeah, he's an assistant coach at North Carolina now, I believe. And then of course, who's the boys that went to Kansas? We had a lot of players go to Kansas.
Nick Collison.
Two guys from weren't they from Lynn? Weren't they? Yeah, but Collison wasn't from Linmar.
No. Linmar. Hold on, let me.
Collison was from Iowa State.
Neither were Heinrich. He was from Sioux City. But the two guys from Linmar that grew up the same time as Al Lorenzen went to Ohio State, the Anderson boys, Scott and John Anderson.
Yes.
One was 6'9".
Collison from Iowa Falls, boys.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
And we were talking about Linmar people.
That's crazy. 6'9". Man.
Yeah, but somebody brought up Nick Collison, so I thought I would say my piece.
Yeah. Michael Jordan. I'm gonna bring up Michael Jordan. He's not from Linmar, but he's pretty good.
There was another guy, not Ryan, another Kansas guy went to Kansas out of Iowa.
Ray LaFrance. Rafe LaFrenz.
Yes. Oh, yes, Rafe LaFrenz.
From Monona. MFL Marmac.
MFL Marmac. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Now it's
Yeah,
is it the Marion Wolves? Is that right?
There's always the Marion Indians.
Yeah, I'm cleaning
Right.
up.
Yep.
When I was in high school, Linmar was a little dinky school.
Really?
And then all this expansion went out there, and now Linmar is the big rich school up there.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Gordy Bohannon brought in his Primerica money, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, in 1980, Marion High School won the 3A state championship, and it was we had just a absolute brigade of running backs. We had Todd Twatman. He ended up going to I think Dartmouth College, but and we had Vaughn Kloffenstein, Tom Bentuski.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Todd Twatman, his dad was my principal. And when my dad was in the hospital, had to get a tracheotomy, I go in there, and on a random occasion my dad's like, they want to give me a trach, and I told him no. And I said, well, hand the phone over to the nurse, Dad. So he hands the phone over to the nurse. I said, is he going to die if he doesn't get a trach? She said, yes. I said, well, give him a trach. She said, don't worry, we are. So they trached my dad, and I went to go see him. I drove the next morning. I drove the 8-hour drive, and I'm walking to see my dad, and right next door, I thought I picked the wrong room, and I leaned in. I go, oh, that's not my dad. I go, man, that looks like Larry Twatman, Todd's dad, my principal at Marion High School. And I thought, there's no way. So I went in next room, and it was my dad. I was sitting there, and the nurse comes in. I said, hey, are you taking care of the guy next to us? And she says, she kind of, it's almost like bordering on HIPAA violation, but she's like, well, actually, yeah. Why? I said, is that Larry Twatman? She says, it sure is. I said, that was my principal in high school. Is it okay if I go talk to him? She says, sure.
That's awesome.
So he wheels his IV rack and all his stuff over, and here's these two beat up old guys in the hospital together, and they're recovering, and they're talk about the old days. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
So how old would you be, Corey?
I'm 54. So.
Oh shit! You're young.
Guys, I hate to interrupt, but you got another person on here. T. Hink has joined the show.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Howdy, fellas.
I was waiting for his
asleep.
comment about anything with Matt Randazzo. And do I have to explain myself again of how I know Matt?
I think you got it the first time.
You should have gotten it the first time.
I think we know it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you want to say, T. Hink?
Hey, a question for Calvin. Was Xavier Styles running that cash yesterday? He was number 18.
I don't know. I didn't know he played cash. I seen Michello Viti at cash, and then they moved him back when Lutmer went out. They moved Viti back to free safety, but no, I didn't. I know Styles got beat a couple times, but I don't know exactly where he was. Did you notice, or?
I just noticed number 18 on the field, and I was going to the depth chart. I was like, "Who's 18?"
Exactly where he was.
And it was Xavier Styles. I'm like, "Isn't he a transfer?" And I looked at his bio. He's from Robert Morris.
He's really good. He looked really good on film when we signed him. I didn't know we were so thin at safety.
I thought we were solid at safety and corner.
Phil said the other day. He said we're still very thin on the back end, and I thought, my God, we signed 4 transfers.
Yeah, no shit.
Haddad, Styles, Hawkins, and the good one, Tyler Brown. I thought, how the hell
Brown's
did we
hurt though? He probably won't play this year.
You don't
Yeah,
think
he's
he's
soft
playing?
tissue. He just held him out.
Oh,
I thought he was
he's
supposed to
okay?
be back. I thought he was
Yeah.
supposed to be back by the first game.
Okay.
Precautionary.
The three guys that are out for a long time are one is a guy I found out later from Trent Condon is that Lance Ingold, one of the transfer linemen. He's out for a minimum of half the season. And who are the other two, Dean?
Lance Bigley.
Yep. And another one.
Kyler Girardi from
Yep.
North
Yep.
Scott is out too.
Two walk-on, Girardi and Bigley is the boogeyman's buddy.
But it's his buddy, yeah.
Yep.
But hey,
Styles made an interception in the spring game, but I did not notice where he was playing. You know,
hey,
It says he's a DB.
well, I know he's a DB, but he asked if he played cash on Saturday, and I said I don't know where he played on Saturday, but I know he played because somebody commented that Styles got beat on one of them throws, but it kind of looked like a lot of our DBs got beat yesterday at
They
times.
said that what's his name? Vidi?
Marcelo.
Marcelo.
He said they got beat. He got beat over the top too.
I think about everybody did. You know, that's why I thought it. The first spring game I ever went to was Hayden's second year, and Gordy Bohannon and Phil Seuss was in his last year, and they had another guy, Riccardi or something like that, was another California junior college quarterback, and Pete Gales, and Hayden was throwing like 80-yard bombs for touchdowns in that game. And when I left, I thought to myself, I was only like 18 years old. I think that was all orchestrated to get the fans excited, you know. And I kind of have this kind of funny feeling that yesterday was just a little bit orchestrated because our defensive backs ain't that bad. But.
Yeah.
no.
Well, I don't want Kirk holding back in our first three games because our quarterbacks and everybody else needs a lot of experience. We got to get up to game speed by Michigan.
And I think Tim Lester will call the plays, so I don't think have to worry too much.
100%. Before I go, since I have to get up at 3:30, you know, the ass crack of dawn. But T. Hink, I actually on my Facebook, I shared what Dazzo said up at the media day. So if you get a chance, definitely watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, that okay. And I'll say this because I've known Matt since I was in high school, which was well over 20 years. He does the pregame show now for the Iowa football, and he did it starting last year. And he was at Channel 8 for 25 years, and then him and his buddy got decided, hey, why don't we start this like podcast? Well, Matt he's from the Quad Cities, which is where I'm from. He went to Alleman, so he's got a lot of background. Being an Illinois, broadcaster, he is a huge Iowa fan. And so if I was you, definitely listen to what he's got. And the people that he gets on for guests are insane. You get Julian Vandevelde. You get Pat Anger. He had Chuck Long on. I can keep going, but like I said, please definitely listen to him. He knows his stuff.
T-Hink, I think, comments on there once in a while.
Yeah, he always gives me a bunch of shit. So I was like, well, you know,
There's some guy
just give him the resource right now.
There's some guy named Marvin on there, and every single day he keeps asking Randazzo about some goddamn professional wrestling. It's not even
man.
I put in there in a comment, that ain't even a sport.
He does. Yeah, I know you're talking about Marvin. Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? Marvin Johnson or something.
Yeah.
The one thing I appreciate about Randazzo is he does all of the Hawkeye stuff up front, and then the rest of it becomes whatever else he wants it to be.
But the thing is, he actually spreads it out to Jake Bren does a really good job for Iowa State. Tyler Tatchman is part of the Iowa. He does a lot of Iowa basketball. Guy named Kyle, he does the Iowa women's basketball. Very knowledgeable.
He's gone.
Oh, has he gone?
Yeah, they're trying to get somebody on before the first game.
Oh,
No,
that's right. That's right.
I think it's a different Kyle that's gone. He's
Yeah.
talking about Kyle Huseman with Tom
Huseman, yeah.
Kakert.
Yeah, and
Tom Kakert. I call when Kakert's on, I said it's the Pod Father. I call him the Pod Father. And when Huseman's on, I call him Big Amish because he's got a beard like an Amishman.
Oh yeah, Kyle can pull that off. That is for damn sure. Yeah, those
But,
are.
I was talking about the one of the sidekicks with Lysico, who works for the Register.
I know.
He
I know
covers
who you were
women's
talking.
basketball.
I know who you were talking about. Is his name Tanner?
I know.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
sound
can't think
right.
of who it is either. But I just wanted to throw
Tyler
that out there.
Tatchman is still part of the team, but I don't know who the
That's Tyler.
That's Tyler. Yeah.
I think this other guy's name was Tanner that left. But
Yeah, I think I know you're talking about, Calvin. I just can't think of his
Yeah.
name. But before I go, I was just letting T Hink know, hey, definitely look at his content. So
yeah.
But guys, thank you again. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Yep.
So T Hink, you got any insights into the spring game that I missed? We missed.
I can tell you who I want the starter to be. Now, is that going to be Kirk's option?
What are you talking about? Not going to be Kirk's option?
I'm saying the fans.
Why does everybody think Kirk wants Brown as quarterback?
Because the fans want
risk averse.
Wants Helinski, and they think that Kirk will go just the opposite of the fans. That's what some thinking out there is.
KF wants to slow it down, not throw the ball around the yard like Helinski does.
I don't know. Kirk's had some quarterbacks that sure threw it around the yard dangerously. Stanzi Tate.
It's advantage Hecklinski. I think at this point, as long as Hecklinski doesn't demonstrate.
Yeah, Tim Lester's going to pick the quarterback unless it's a really close race. Then Kirk will weigh in. And then you got Tom Moore.
Am I live? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're still live. Can you hear us?
You can hear me? Okay.
Just speak up whenever you want.
In my opinion,
I think Corey's muted. I can't hear Corey.
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Oh.
Go ahead, Corey.
Okay. But I think Kirk is settling into the idea of accepting Hecklinski if he demonstrates good decision making and he's not overly reckless. I think Kirk will pick Hecklinski in the end, and it's way too early to tell. We've got 10 more days?
Yeah.
Before
Kirk said the quarterback that starts has to limit turnovers. And what else did he say about him?
Move the team downfield.
Moves the ball downfield.
Anybody'd want a quarterback that don't throw a bunch of interceptions and moves the team downfield.
I get a feel. The feel I get from Hecklinski is a Drew Tate or a kind of
Drew Tate was taller.
Yeah.
Everybody's taller.
Well, yeah, but the ability to get outside the pocket and create some chaos for the defense. I like it. I like it.
My question is can a quarterback that short with a line that's probably 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", see over that line?
He didn't get any. He didn't get
they
any
asked
pass.
him that
he didn't
question.
Get any pass. He didn't get
about
any passes.
his height, and he says, you just adapt. And he said, I don't even think about that part of it. I've been this height. I grew up. I matured to this height. I've been this height for a long time. And now, that said, he's been this height for all this time, but the players that he played against were shorter. He's playing against taller players. So there is that.
I was going to say that yesterday in the spring game,
I just think getting him outside the pocket bodes well for him and can create some disruption as long as he can throw on the run, on a rollout.
On yesterday, 0 of his passes got knocked down. 4 of Hank Brown's did. So much for height,
Yeah. Height's underrated because I'm 5'5", so.
Yeah, I thought Pavia was a terrific quarterback last year, and he's 2 inches shorter than Hecklinski. So,
speaking of quarterbacks that got cut by the NFL, did you see that Gronk is back with the Dolphins?
Yep. And
he is.
And I think he's going to make it because the 2 quarterbacks that supposedly had beat him out, Quinn Ewers was 1 out of 9.
I got to ask you this question.
And then the other guy
Caleb Johnson, does he make it with the Steelers this year or what? I mean, they got rid of what was his name? Longwell.
I think he's gone. They drafted a guy that's having a pretty good. He had a pretty good game.
And Caleb just don't fit.
They had an Army guy.
Don't fit the NFL
and then they got another guy. I feel bad for Caleb. I hope that he finds a spot somewhere. He had a tough start.
Seems to me we're running out of things to talk to, so maybe this is a good place to say adios, good night, and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a lag, and I'm not really. I only hear you, Dean, and I'm not hearing anybody else. So I didn't know if I lost the audio on the other two.
I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me.
Yeah, we were just told that they can hear you, but they can't hear you. I mean,
I can only hear.
You don't hear him either?
I can't hear Dean or Corey.
So who can you hear?
Okay.
But I can't hear anybody, so I'm gonna hop off here.
Okay, I wonder what's going on.
I will probably be back on Wednesday.
See you then.
But if you're ever wanting content, head over to Corey Baratta's show from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Talk with Don Patterson. He'll give you some good content out there, and you'll find Corey Cyhawk C Money over there too. Everyone have a great night. Peace.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
it's time to get off here since nobody can hear anybody talk.
Yeah. No, Corey Baratta's got a good show with Don Patterson. Just another throwback. I love this show because
you heard T-Hink then. You heard T-Hink. Okay.
I did hear T-Hink at the end there. He couldn't hear me though. But I just love the throwbacks to the old school Iowa football. That's, as a youngster, I mean, we used to throw the football out in the street and hope that we'd get hit by cars because we were getting beat by Nebraska 48-zip with Mike Rozier and Tommy Frazier and Coach Osborne and here comes Hayden Fry and we start building something. So I'll always cherish Hawkeye football. It'll always be a part of me, and I'm that's why I got my season tickets, and I'm stoked. I'm ready to go. So let's go Hawkeyes.
All right, go Hawks. We'll see everybody Wednesday night. Cyhawk, you're welcome to come back anytime.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it. And I will always tune in. Whether I jump on or not, I will always be tuned in. So thank you. Great show.
Take care.
All right, you too.